I'm considering divorcing my wife because she can't get over her mom dying. Yeah, I know, everyone is outraged by the title and ready to tell me what a bad guy I am. To those people, I implore you to read the rest of this post before making a judgment. My wife, 33F, and I, 36M, lost her mother 5 years ago due to lung cancer. It was not a peaceful or easy death. Our lives understandably went on pause after the diagnosis, and we both spent a lot of time off work helping to care for her mother. My wife showed a fairly typical grieving process at the time, cycling through different stages. The same happened with our 3 kids. However, after she passed away, my wife got really bad. I completely understand this. I can't say I know exactly what she went through because I haven't lost a parent, but I understand how devastated she was. For months after, she could barely function. I gently took over almost all the responsibilities at home and with the kids. She had been attending grief counseling since the diagnosis and continued after the death. None of this is the problem. I endeavored to be as supportive as possible. She cried on my shoulder every night for months, and I thought this was the worst of, for better or worse. The problem is that after 5 years, she does not seem any better or more functional. She stopped attending grief counseling about 4 years ago and refused to go back, saying it wouldn't help her and that nothing could. About a month before any major holiday, she takes a significant downturn. She spends half the day in bed, crying all day, doesn't want to interact with the family, and has no energy to do anything around the house. This happens every single day until about a week after the holiday ends. Every holiday is intense grief, just as much now as it was 5 years ago. October, November, December, and January, her mom's birthday month, are particularly bad each year. I am essentially without my wife and am a single parent to my 3 kids. Altogether, she is completely incapacitated by grief for about 6 months out of the year and has been for the past 5 years. When I say incapacitated, I mean incapacitated. When she is in the depths of her grief, she is completely incapable of intimacy with me or the kids. There are no cuddles, no time with us, no family outings. We haven't had intimate relations for half the year. I've stopped asking her if she wants to talk about it because she can't get any words out between sobs if she tries. What hurts the most is that the kids have stopped asking or being concerned. If they see their mom in bed when they get home, they just go about their day and might casually mention, "Oh, mom is sad today." If they're siblings or I ask where she is, they no longer seek affection from her because they rarely get anything other than tears. I've discussed this with therapists, my parents, friends, etc., and I know all the rebuttals people have for this, so let me preempt them. She is unwilling to go back to grief counseling or see a doctor for depression. Yes, I know she's severely depressed. I can't force her to go to the doctor. I've tried so much. Yes, it really is just as intense as it was 5 years ago. No, I never tell her to get over it or blow her off. On my worst days, I just give her space and leave her be. Most days, I try to offer her some comfort. If you want to judge me for leaving her alone, whatever, but know that I feel like I essentially have caregiver fatigue at this point. No, she doesn't have a history of depression, but she does have ADHD. I don't know if that's relevant. I feel like my wife died when her mom died. I would do anything to get her back, even a small piece of her, but she doesn't seem willing or able to move on past her mom's death. I feel terrible for considering divorce, but I don't know what else to do. Top comments. Comment 1. You are not being unreasonable. In fact, I'm afraid that by staying, your whole family is normalizing a level of dysfunction. My brother spiraled into a very dangerous alcoholic bender after our grandmother passed away. It lasted 2 to 3 years and ended with him in the hospital with early-stage cirrhosis and the need to be on a ventilator to breathe at the age of 27. Between that episode and him checking into rehab, I wrote him a long letter, basically pleading with him to stop and get help. One of the biggest points I felt I had to make, and I'm almost sure was the biggest thing to convince him to get help, was telling him that what he was doing in no way honored her memory. What your wife is doing at this point does not honor her mother's memory at all. Has anyone said anything like this to her? That what she is doing is actually the opposite of honoring her memory when she should be living her life as she would if her mom was still alive and trying to make her proud. Comment 2. You should say something like, I won't put the kids or myself through this anymore. You have chosen grief and solitude over being a mother and partner, and after half a decade of ruined holidays, ruined relationships, and misery, I'm saying stop. No one can force you to work through this, but I won't be forced to live like this.